Welcome to another episode of me having a go with your fan-made cars. And yeah, that's really crazy, right? Couldn't get any crazier than that, right? So I mean, we got that. That's not crazy at all. Oh, that one's quite powerful looking and fast. Oh, well that's just weird. But that's as weird as it gets, right? Oh. This again. Alright, let's start with the peel. I racked my head for the longest time. What could I do with a Peel P50? Well, this is about the only thing I could come up with. So this camera sucks. Is there like a better camera? No, there isn't. So we're just gonna have to look around it. Oh my god, this car has so much detail in it, except the exhaust is a blocked off tube. There is actually hollow tubing you could use. Oh, here we go. And how fast can we go? Oh god, no, okay, okay, I've got this. I can save this. No, oh shit, no, I can still save this. I can't save this. All right, let's try this again, except we're gonna go first person. See if that helps. I mean, I doubt it, but we'll give it a try. Also, it's got a locker. I'm assuming that's meant to simulate the locked rear axle, but that's gonna make it incredibly hard to control. So I'm just gonna pretend that this thing had a real differential. Oh, over risk. I've got this. God damn it. It seems that it has a slight issue with high-speed stability. Make it to the jump. Oh. Hold on. I've got this. Just get off the wall. Well then. Well, I think that was an unfair test because the thing was able to get more speed than what you would normally be able to get out of the car. So we're gonna go with the back straight into the slingshot, and we're gonna see how much speed this vehicle can make itself, and then judge whether that's indicative of how the car would handle at high speed to see if it even reaches said high speed. And whilst we're doing that, and we're locked at 70 miles an hour and kilometers an hour, and it's a little bit unstable, let's have a look at a bit of the interior. I like the pedal inversion. A little gas tank there? Well, that's a bit weird. I like the spare tire, even if that's not particularly accurate. I like the inverted windshield wiper, which is accurate. All right, slingshot, high speed, 69 kilometers an hour. Going around the corner, high speeds. Oh, we're good. It's also mostly it's good because this thing is it's treating it more like a curve than a corner. So we're gonna have to go down here to, I can't even remember what the name of this corner is. Oh god, oh, get stable. Wait, no, I do remember what it's called. It's called Bavarian Bend. Oh, wait, hold on, there is a sign here, which going at like high rates of speed, entering a corner, you would never read that sign, but that's fine, whatever. I suppose if there was like a TV camera around, they would be able to show the viewer. The driver itself, okay, yep, nah. This is apparently considered a high-speed corner for this car, and it couldn't handle it. But at slow speeds, oh god, this thing would be limited to 50 kilometers an hour. So let's try that again. Let's rewind. Let's go at 50 kilometers an hour. I may have needed to rewind more than that, because I can't even reach 50 by this time. Okay, 50 kilometers an hour, almost. You know what? Much better. And this car would probably be limited to 50 kilometers an hour here in Australia. So I also get the feeling that it should be limited to 50 anyway. Let's have a little bit more of a look at this car before we move on. They've put a lot of detail in here. They've got like their reverse suicide style door hinges, got a nice little latch there, got all of these little details around here, number plates. I like that they've got the rear wheels offset more than the rear, and this cool looking thing here, they've got a cutout for that. That's pretty cool. I think that's accurate too. And oh, we've got disc brakes. Did they have disc brakes? I thought they would have had drum brakes, honestly, you know, to keep the price down. This though, I don't recognize. Is that on the original PLP50 or is that just a thing that they used? Wait, the PLP50 was a three-wheeler? Wow, my memory of the PLP50 is old and outdated. but it does have a handle. Now, there are actually these sorts of handles in automation, so I don't know why he's gone with this one. Also, I do have a tutorial on how to make trikes, so you could have made this into a trike if you really wanted to. And then aside from the thing here not being particularly in the right place, should be up here, and the fact that this should be inlaid with a little bit of maybe using patchwork to create an indent, much like it is indented here, this is a pretty good car. I do like it. They've done a really good job. I just don't get the fuel tank like that. Is that a thing? I don't really see a fuel tank. Well, A for effort. Let's move on. Now, this unique looking vehicle, might be the nicest thing I can say, is called the Quash D3i. And they've described this as the very definition of an absolutely terrible cheap car. So yes, this is $10,000. Now that is not material price, that is how much the car would sell for. So let's have a bit of a look at what engine we have in here. And oh no, it's it's carbureted, so that's pretty bad. This is also a 1999 car, so wait, no, that's not carbureted, that's single point injection. Though technically that looks like 2 points of injection. And it comes with a turbo, so I'm surprised it has a turbo on there. But I do like this single point injection. That is rather funny, and I love it. That is actually a nice little detail. You didn't go overboard or underboard there. I think that was just about right. Like 1999, that would have been the end of the crap cars that you would find in a lot of lesser developed countries. But it's got independent front suspension, and then let's have a look at the rear suspension. What have we got here? We have leaf springs. Really? I actually thought there would have been a torsion beam or a solid axle coil, but I suppose a leaf is just a little bit cheaper, but a torsion beam isn't really much more, is it? And you've gone with a turbo, so it's not the complete epitome of a cheap car. Let's see what this thing does. Let's bring up our HUD here so you can see what sort of RPM. Goes up to 7,000 RPM, huh? Wow, it's actually sprightly. I was expecting this thing to be really slow, which is why I brought it to a city and not to a racetrack. Woo! Oh my god, this is actually really fun. How stiff is that suspension though? That is really stiff suspension. It's struggling uphill, but it's getting there. And turning. Yeah, this thing has like no body roll. So they must have set like a preset of race or something to the suspension, which is not really what you would have on a really cheap car. But if you wanted to make a really cheap, say, track car, this is like right up there. So you've got your Mazda MX-5s and whatnot. If they were to bring this out to compete with that, I think that there'd probably actually be a large market for this. Sure, it's slow and gutless and probably doesn't have a particularly high top speed. This thing handles really nicely and feels really good. Like throwing this around corners with the handbrake on is really fun. Woo! All right, you know what? I think this deserves to go around a racetrack and not just around here because I am enjoying the hell out of this car. God, that's fun. Oh, I also love the little penis single exhaust in the middle. You could probably 3D place that just a little bit better. And since we're here anyway, we're gonna throw it around the West Coast track. And starts off with a buttload of wheel spin almost all the way through first gear. Now I'm gonna have to show some restraint here. I'm gonna really want to throw a handbrake into this first corner because it's downhill into here and it'll just create the perfect pendulum effect. But it's fine, we could restrain. Oh, that was so hard to not chuck a handbrake on there and go around that corner sideways. But I suppose when you're a professional like me, restraint is something that you're just really good at. Whoops. Oh, I accidentally handbraked. My bad. Maybe I'm not so professional. And coming around here for corner number 3, it's doing fairly well, but then again, it's going really slowly. Not helped by the fact that I did a handbrake. And we're going to have to show restraint here again because we don't want to... Oh, okay, lockups. This thing probably could do with ABS, but then again, that would probably increase that $10,000 price tag. Though this is not the only cheap car in today's video. Now, coming up here to the first chicane. Oh, trying to find that sweet spot with the controller where to brake and not lock up is really particularly hard, and that's made really apparent by the fact now that I look over to the left, this thing has all-round drum brakes. So maybe it's not a particularly good track car, because once those things get heat soaked, they do not cool off. Oh, are we going to find out its top speed? So here we're at cruising speed, which is 100 kilometers an hour, which is about 62.5 miles per hour. What are we going to be able to do here? 120, 125, 130. Okay, we've reached the Northern Territory's top speed. And going through the next checkpoint, we reached 137. That was the most we could reach on this track. Wait, hold on. No, a bit of a downhill here, but I have to watch out. 148, and let's start slowing down early so we don't lock up for this one, this is usually a third gear corner, except it locked up and scrubbed off a bunch of speed, unfortunately. Though it still managed to do it in third gear. I do like, however, that the AI controlling the gearbox is doing a much better job. I don't like to manually control gears when I'm using a controller. I only like to do that with the actual steering wheel setup. So far, though, this car is doing quite nicely. Like, sure, a few lockups and the brakes are only getting hotter and hotter. Wait, am I getting an over rev risk? It was, oh, you know what? That was probably due to the AI's glitch with going into that corner at the end of the straight. So we're coming up, we're about to see the last chicane and then onto the straightaway. Now, you got 300 meter braking board, 200 meter braking board, 100 meter braking board. I don't even need to brake until I actually reach the first point of the chicane. That's how slow this car is, and possibly have not even needed to brake. So let's finish this lap off. We got a 3-minute lap. That's not fast, and yeah. So that's right at the bottom of my list, but I'm gonna go to free roam here. I'm just gonna see how long it takes until these brakes completely cook. And coming up here, you know what? You can't actually brake particularly hard because of the whole drum brakes thing. But wow, they scrubbed off a lot of temperature. They reached nearly 200 degrees and then immediately came down to 130 degrees. So maybe there's like some method to the madness. Maybe there's a lot of brake cooling. Yeah, this thing actually does scrub off a lot of speed. Maybe it's not very aerodynamic because there's a lot of brake cooling. Let's test that. We're coming up to another particularly hard corner to brake for. 220 degrees. And it's coming down to 160, 150. Yeah, wow. So brake cooling is actually working particularly well. Coming up to a chicane, we're going at about 100 kilometers an hour. And we locked up so we didn't get as much over rev risk again. AI is bugging out just a little bit. Well, we're gonna find out at the end of the back straight, so let's just skip to that one and see what brake temperatures we get up to and see if they cook yet, because it likes to really sit about 150. I do love the fact that they've put every imaginable badge on the rear here to like show all of the technology in it. Though if you look at anything other than what the badge says, you realize that it's just a little bit shitty. And our brakes have cooled down as well. They're now at about 144 degrees, coming up to the braking point at the end of the chicane. And let's start braking. Oh, lock up. We're fine. Yeah, nah. This thing just deals with it really well. I have had enough. All right, we're gonna see what it takes to cook these brakes. We're gonna drive with our brakes on and get these things cooking. Except this thing doesn't really have enough power to brake and drive at the same time. So if these brakes were in a normal car, you would have a problem with them cooking because you're so short between braking zones. But this, being so slow, it actually has time to cool off, which is a feature, not a bug. All right, let's get these brakes up. 240, 240, and then it slows down. Like, wow, I'm actually braking and trying not to slow the vehicle down, and the brakes were cooling down there for a second. Yeah. You know what? I usually would say that the drum brakes are a bad idea, but with lots of cooling, I suppose they can work. Now this one may be just a little bit faster. I don't know why I have that feeling. I just have a feeling. Let's have a look at the inside here. That looks like a 3D fixture there. So that's not downforce. And there's no downforce on the front here. What I am seeing though is a ginormous wing on the rear and then a no downforce diffuser on the rear. So this thing has a buttload of rear downforce, but no actual other downforce. So this thing is probably going to understeer like crazy when we get up to high speeds. Now, is that a gooseneck? No, it actually connects on the bottom. So for those of you that don't know what a gooseneck is, or what the advantage of a gooseneck is your downforce is not created by the air hitting the top. The majority of downforce is actually generated on the bottom. So if you're getting high speed, you're taking a little bit of area away from the underneath of the wing, reducing your downforce. And then when you're going going around a corner, the air travels diagonally across, and with this here, it'll create even more of an area where the underneath of the wing is becoming inefficient. So they started to realize that they should connect the wing on top, and with wing size limitations, that little bit of extra wing actually really helps. I see they've also gone for the drag car ethos of having upturned exhaust to give extra traction as well. That's hilarious. Now, this vehicle is called the Valhalla Vitesse ZIA 2001 Track Pack, and it is actually reasonably priced. It's only $269,000. So let's actually see what we got here. So I can already tell that this thing has a turbo. Oh, it's a flat 6. Interesting. So this thing is going to have a really great low center of gravity. Though it looks like the rear sway bar is in the turbos. Okay? Also, I noticed that the chassis here is made out of carbon fiber. So let's give this pretty sweet looking car a bit of a try. And acceleration wise, it's really good. Oh boy, this thing really takes off, and we are already going a ginormous rate of speed. Now let's see what, we're going over 300 kilometers now, and braking zone. The braking zone is much further back. Oh dear. Let's try that again, but at much further back braking point. Oh god, it's still not particularly great. I think the ABS is having to work overtime, and you know what? Not actually a large amount of oversteer. This thing is doing pretty well. I thought this thing would be crazy, but it's just not. Okay, coming around here, fairly good. Going around here, fairly good. Wow, this thing turns in really nicely. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, and there's the understeer. That's at medium speed corners, I think, and going around tight corners, pretty good. Oh god, okay, so this thing is pulling hard to the left of that little bit of a touch. As you can see there, my steering wheel is set straight forwards, so that one's yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie-daisy. Let's I want to check more out about this car. So it does have rear-wheel drive at least, and front, it is all-wheel drive. Okay, and let's check out Control T. Yeah, this thing actually has no wing, does it? I'm having a look through here. I'm not seeing a wing at all. Let's check to make sure they haven't hidden and buried it in here. Yeah. How does this thing not lose all traction in the front? That is absolutely crazy. Does it have like really thick front tires? It does. For a rear engine, mid-engine, that is actually quite wide tires. And then yes, just the one big aero wing at the back. And as you can see here, that bottom lip was not actually any sort of aero. There's nothing here whatsoever. Wow. I am impressed. I thought this thing would have just understeered way too much. Well, I suppose I was wrong. Let's turn this off and see how it handles without any sort of traction control aids. Probably still has ABS active, right? Yes, it does. And ABS is not particularly great. Oh god, okay. We're doing fine, guys. Oh dear, okay. And, oh, okay, so medium speed corners not great. But, you know what? Still, not horrible and not nearly as bad as I thought they would be. Why does this thing have traction control? It doesn't need it. This thing is really, really fast. Wow. All right. I probably won't time this lap, but I think I might just now take this over to the automation test track. I think this thing really deserves to be taken around that track. Oh, that's nice. Now I know why it has traction control, because this thing is crazy. Woo, nice. Now specifically, I've brought this here because, hold on, you know what? No, we're gonna change that to be off. We're gonna reset. We're gonna set to Q, to set it to select the gears manually. Sorry, there I had a little bit of a burp. And okay, oh, okay, I'm getting a lot of lag right now onto time trials. That is something wrong with the game, and I hope that the BeamNG devs fix it. Oh, we don't have a very good top speed around here. Oh, that's that lack of front downforce being a bit of an issue here. Coming up here to... Oh, almost got that one completely stuffed up. And then, what's this? Ban Hammerhead, I believe is what this one is called. Coming around there quite nicely, able to keep our speed up fairly decently. That all-wheel drive being able to pull you out of the corner without large amounts of oversteer on the exit there. I feel like this thing might have a little bit of front bias with its drivetrain. Now, we're going to find out how this thing does around Slingshot. Slingshot should kill this thing with no front downforce. Oh, okay, we're actually going really fast. That was my bad. I didn't realize we were going over 300 kilometers an hour. Completely forgot how fast this car was, and that was my fault. I must admit, I do love the sound of this engine. But now we're gonna find out how much we actually have to slow down here, and that is the million-dollar question. So we're gonna start slowing down about 230, 240. Wow, we're actually going through there at quite a high rate of speed. I am constantly impressed by this car. I feel that they may have actually done some fiddling with something. Like, what did they do? I don't understand. How do they get this thing to be so fast? And then we're going to slow down at the 150 meter board. Is that going to be enough? Oh, this thing could do with a little bit of front downforce. Even though this thing handles really nicely, the thing is hampered with braking because there is no front downforce. And oh, there we go. That's an issue for this car. It doesn't like these high to medium speed corners. And yes, the wheel is a little askew now. So we're going to retry this lap again. All right, let's try this corner again. I don't actually remember what it's called. I just know that it's, it goes after Kill Rob Chicane. And then we've got Adam's Apex, which is generally a bit of a tricky one because you always struggle going through the previous corner in most cases, especially with fast cars. So you really stuff up your line with Adam's Apex, and then your braking point changes quite a lot. And really, I don't know what the braking point for Adam's Apex is meant to be. But we're coming down to the final corner after Lamb's Hope, and we've done a sub 2 minute with our controller, not a steering wheel. Whoa! That pinwheel is crazy just then. But yeah, okay, so I think with my steering wheel and a bunch of practice, we could probably knock off 5-10 seconds. Yeah, I did enjoy this though. Just these wheels just flopping about. So let's critique a little bit more about this car. So this car is meant to be a 2021 car? I don't know about that. It is using a mid-90s body, and you can kind of tell that. It does look a little bit more like a Murcielago with the way they've modeled it. So it looks like a early to mid-2000s car. But still, like, these just, they don't scream modern day. This does look like a thing from the 90s. And those headlights, I can see that you're trying to, like, fight the fact that this looks like a Lamborghini. And it looks possible, like, it looks okay. But does it look 2021? It's not really drastic enough. More modern supercars do look incredibly drastic. But if this was to, say, be a 90s or a 2000s car, God, I would love this car. I mean, I still do love it. But yeah, it also drives really good. Just, yeah, these lips and these rear diffuser lips don't actually generate any downforce if you are wondering. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. And here we have the Codex HC 1916 M. So this is like a couple of weeks after we did that big collab where we did 1916 cars up Pikes Peak, and they said that this is their version of a car that they would make. So I thought, why not come out and give it a bit of a try? Now, there are a few things that I don't entirely agree with, one of which being pedals. I doubt that many of these cars would have had pedals like that in 1916, especially ones that you would take around a racetrack. And then moving in here, we have ourselves a flat what? Flat 4 or flat 6? Can't actually tell, there's too much bodywork in the way. That is a flat 6. I very much doubt that they would have had a flat 6 back in the day. So it looks like they only really started being produced around 1940. So I'm justified in my skepticism of engine choice. But at least they've gone with, like, really narrow tires. I do appreciate that you didn't cheat like those other buggers. And we've got leaf springs. So we have leaf springs all round. Yes, we do. I do appreciate that you've actually followed the design document there. And we have a ladder chassis. Yes, we do. That's good. Okay, apart from the engine choice and the pedals, which the pedals don't really mean anything, this is a pretty decent car. So we're not going to take it up the entire track because I don't want to spend like 20 minutes to half an hour taking this thing up. We're just going to do this thing up the dirt track, and we are not going to have a locker on for this because that would be absolutely atrocious. Oh dear God, this thing is really slow and it just wants to keep oversteering. It doesn't want to go in a straight line. Oh, I love the low RPM. Thank you so much. Oh, and it sounds good too. Oh, you've got the sounds in the RPM. I am very happy with your work, sir, now. Now I don't care about the fact that you've chosen the wrong engine whatsoever. I don't know about the offset of the wheels. I'm noticing that that's a little bit weird. But I do appreciate the work and effort. You've also put on some spare tires on the rear there. But I don't believe that the early cars would have had rear tires. That would have been for your more cross-country rally style things. This was only to go up Pikes Peak, so it wasn't really going to take very long, and if you had to change a tire, well, your race was over anyway. I wonder if they knew about lightness back then. Actually, I don't think they did. I don't think they cared much for lightness at all at this point in time. Coming up to the first hairpin, and a nice drift. I didn't even need to have to handbrakey. Good, it didn't lock up the steering partway through. I know that sometimes with these sorts of bodies, if you try to steer, the wheels will break off. Or become inverted, stuff like that. Some real janky things happen when it gets sent over to BeamNG. And coming up to this particular tricky corner. Now, this corner is always a bit of a trick, but here, you know what? Not an issue at all. I think we're just gonna skip ahead to the front here, to the end of the lap here, because this is being a particularly nice, clean, useful car. And yeah, really uneventful so far. Oh, and we're coming up here to the final stretch and across the line. Nice. Wow, a 5-minute lap. That's really fucking slow. But oh God, bro, this thing was a delight. I love it. Thank you very much for submitting this car. Oh, it's so good. I will point out one thing though, and this is something I completely forgot when creating the design document for this particular game, is these things never had front brakes. They only had rear brakes. So I could tell here that the front brakes were overworked and the rear brakes were underworked, when in fact they only ever had rear brakes. And I also want to go on the record here and say that I stuffed up when I made my car. Yeah, I accidentally put medium compound on and didn't put off-road compound on. That was a big dirt from me, but this car, I love it. You have done so many things right, and especially that engine. The engine, the sound and everything, and the RPMs. Oh, it's a work of art. You've done a really good job here. Thank you very much, Rowan. Yes. Oh yeah, this is also the other cheap car. This one only costs $11,000, but I suppose back in the day, being handmade, this probably actually would have cost a hell of a lot more. I would suggest if anybody wants to have a go with this car, try to find it on my Discord. It is well worth it. It really encapsulates the entire idea of the time, apart from the brakes, obviously. Now for the $6.34 million Electric Lightning M1, made by the same person, Broken Ursa. Now this is a 6-wheeled, though I'm assuming, yep, no, those wheels don't work, tank. I'm gonna also note that they tried to make chunky off-road tires by, you can see them poking through there a little bit. It's a little bit hard to notice, but yeah, they're not real either. But I suppose I could make this a real vehicle for them. Oh my God. What is this engine? Oh, okay, we're having problems with traction control. Let's turn that off and see how much better this thing deals with, it's so fast. We're going 100 kilometers an hour uphill. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious. This is not what you would expect from a tank. I suppose that's why they call it Electric Lightning, which, I mean, I don't know if there's any other sort of lightning, but this thing is just a little bit bonkers. Also, I'm hoping that those tires being there on the ground aren't actually scraping. And oh, that's fun. This thing is fun to jump. Oh God, okay, I want to stop now. I want to come to a stop now. I am braking full force brakes. Come to a stop, please. Please stop. There we go. Just wanted to make sure that the collision mesh wasn't going into the tires, because that would cause a bit of traction issues. But by God, this thing is fast! Oh my God, it's tons per wheel as well. Jesus, what is the engine in this thing? Oh my God, is that a 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep, that is a 16-cylinder engine. My God, and I'm assuming we've got all-wheel drive. What sort of differential do we have in here? That's a solid rear axle, which I would expect, yes. And then in the front, oh, we've also got a solid in the front. Well, at least they've gone that realistic, and I appreciate that. But there's a problem. This thing belongs on a racetrack instead. Oh, okay, we're gonna see. Oh my God, this vehicle is actually really goddamn heavy. Oh, the brakes, they're struggling. She's struggling, guys. Wow, this thing like did better off-road than it did on-road. We're gonna see how this thing does for an entire lap of the automation. Listen to that rumble of the tires. Oh my God, this thing is just insanity. It sounds like a tank. How do they make it sound so much like a tank inside of automation? Because keep in mind, I exported this car myself. I did not take a zip file from this person. So that's just the standard sound of this vehicle, and it sounds epic. Is it the wind? Is that the wind sound, maybe? God, it's crazy. Oh no! Oh no! We were taken out by the Cotswolds. This thing sounds like Doom. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Okay, okay. Well, no, we managed to keep it on the thing. What is this weird shadow I'm seeing? What the hell? I get the feeling that that was a leftover from a previous mesh that this thing was based upon. All right, let's try the Cotswolds again and brake at our regular braking point. Okay, our regular braking point is not enough, and oh, we were taken out by the Cotswolds again. Am I never gonna learn the Cotswolds? Come on. Well, it doesn't look like the steering is broken. We're gonna keep going with this. You know what? I have the perfect song for this in the editing. Oh, we're coming for you, bitch. Oh my God, we're going 200 kilometers an hour in a tank, and we're gonna start slowing down for the slingshot. Are we gonna slow down enough? This thing, I get the feeling, is gonna understeer like crazy, or our rear brakes are completely cooked, even though they look like they are some sort of probably carbon ceramic. And coming down here for Bavarian Bend, our brakes are going. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Much better. This thing needs more brake cooling. Hello, builder, if you're listening, next time make sure these things have brakes. God damn. Oh my God, I didn't brake it from... My brakes are cooked! Ah! Wow, that's not very thick armor for a tank. All right, let's try Go Rob Chicane again, except this time we're gonna brake a lot sooner. So from right back here, we're gonna make sure that we don't cook our brakes. Our brakes are cooking. They're cooking! They're going! They're going! They're going! Ah! Come on! All right, third time's a charm. We're gonna go really slowly into this, and we're gonna start braking from a distance back, and we're only gonna lightly feather the brake. Oh no, still not braking enough! No! Oh God. Maybe this thing wasn't built for a racetrack. Oh God. I get the feeling I might have to switch this thing into reverse to get the thing to slow down more than what it already does. Jesus. All right, we're gonna make it around this big, long left-hand corner here, and then into Adam's Apex, which we're gonna go slow here so we don't have to slow down much for Adam's Apex, because we've already got one brake already cooked. And that didn't end up so well, but that's fine. We have a very good off-road vehicle here, so it's absolutely not a problem whatsoever. Now, we're gonna come up here to, I can't remember what this one's called. Can I see it right in there? Cossack's Corner, that's right. Okay, well, our brakes didn't overcook there, but I was too pussyfooted on them, I suppose. And Lamb's Hope, the final braking zone. Gonna handbrake it around here, didn't work, that's fine. Coming up to the finish straight here, and wow, even though I had to do like a 3-point reversing there, we've done a 3-minute lap. Jesus, that's quicker than what I thought. Oh my God. Oh my God. How do you get a vehicle to weigh 10 tons? That's stupid. Oh my God. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I sure did. You know what? I also want to point out one little thing that I noticed whilst I was exporting this car is, yes, that is not just a hole. That is actually glass they put here. That is just a little bit of attention to detail. There's actually an interior. Oh, nice. I wish, like, they maybe had gone a little bit further with the interior, but that's really cool. Oh, they've got details here, and they've got whatever that is. What is that? Oh, that's the back end of the gun. Whatever, that's fine. And then, I mean, they could have put handles on the back there. They've got little dials and things. Oh, so good. Is that really what a tank steering wheel looks like? Yeah. Not by the looks of it, like really old looking ones, sure, but modern ones? It looks like they got more like these sorts of things instead. I believe they're called tillers or something? Not entirely sure what they're called. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye!